hold it. But that's too tall, even though I'm tall. But I have on flat shoes. Everybody else has a heel. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Hi, I'm Reign Supreme, and I'm going to tell you a story about a time a show I was doing got raided by the police. So I'm going to give you some background information. There are a few things you need to know first. Number one is I used to live in Rockaway. So those of you who live in New York or from New York, Rockaway is with beaches. It's like at the end, all the way at the end of Queens, and it's far. So if you live there and you have to come out here, or it takes a long time, especially if you're a burlesque performer and you have late shows and you have to get home late at night. It's a very long ride. And this gig was in Rockaway, so it was actually really, really perfect. The other thing you need to know is that the owner of the venue was a local Rockaway business owner. He's a surfer, very well known. Rockaway is a very small town community. Everyone knows each other. This guy had several businesses, restaurants. He's a chef, and also he had a very personal beef with the local police precinct. I don't know what the origin of that beef was because it predated me, but it was something that we all knew. So, a magician who also lived in Rockaway decided to start producing this burlesque show at this man's restaurant. And he came to me because I lived in Rockaway, and he was like, I'm doing this show. It's weekly. It was him and two burlesque performers. And I used to do the show a lot because it was literally like blocks from where I lived. It paid well. We got free dinner. The food was amazing. It was a really good crowd who always had cash. They tipped well. It was honestly like probably the best gig I've ever done here in New York, and I've only ever lived in New York. So it was perfect. It was an ideal gig. $200 for 2 acts, very good tips, dinner, great. I could walk there, I didn't have to take a car home. So we go to the show. One night we're at the show, me and another burlesque performer and the host. The show starts, first performer performs, second person is me, I perform, and I go back into the dressing room to get ready for my second act. While I'm back there changing my clothes, the host comes running back to where we're getting dressed. It's like a shed behind the restaurant that we're using as a dressing room. He comes running back there with the other performer who is like half dressed, like she was in the middle of dressing and she was half dressed. He's like, everyone, put your clothes on, turn off the lights. And we're just like, what's going on? He was like, the police are here, they're raiding, the show shut down, we have to stop, everybody put in your clothes. So now we're just like, what do you mean the police are here? Like, no, I'm the only one, other than the host, I'm the only one who lives in Rockaway. So like, I know kind of what the situation is with this host, with this owner and the police, but I did not expect, that to, interrupt the show. So we're in the dressing room, I put on my clothes, the other performer, she comes back there, she puts on her clothes. And basically what happened is the police came in, the host saw what was happening, and before the police could like really make their way into the building, he went to the other performer and said, let's go right now, grabbed her and brought her to the back. So he acted really fast, and he acted, probably in a way that saved some of us from more headache than what we experienced. But we get back there, so now we're in the shed all trying to be quiet because the cops don't know about this other room that we're in, so because it's not attached to the building. So we're in the shed, dressed now, the lights are all off, and we're all just trying to be quiet as we can so that no one knows we're there. But this guy whose show it is, who hosts the show, is someone who really is unable, he doesn't ever stop talking.
No,
yeah, you know who I'm talking about. It's almost like there's something preventing him from stopping, like he never stops talking. So we're there, and he keeps saying, okay, everybody be quiet. So we're all quiet, and he's just like pacing back and forth, like, oh, guys, I don't know what's going on, but it's a good thing I brought her to the back. It's a good thing and we're just like, shut the fuck up, like, you're gonna get us caught. But we're trying not to yell that because we don't want them to hear us, so we're just like, shut up, like, shut the fuck. We're just yelling, like, whisper yelling at him, and he'll be quiet for like 5 seconds, and then this talking and the pacing started again. Another performer was there. She wasn't in the show, but she was just hanging out. And she said, should we write our name or write our numbers and our names on our arms in case we get arrested and someone has to, know. I was like, I don't think we're gonna get arrested, but if you want to write your name. But I've also never, really had a situation with the cops before, so I really wouldn't know what to do. But it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Because I lived so close, and I was married at the time, so because I lived so close, I called my husband, and I told him what was going on. And so he came, but he couldn't come in because the cops were there. They shut the whole restaurant down. And so he and a bunch of other neighborhood people who were just nosy and wanted to know what was going on were just standing outside the venue, just standing there waiting for something to happen. And I'm like texting him, and he's telling me what he sees. But we were back there for about an hour, I would say, just trying to be quiet and trying not to be seen. The cops came, they arrested the owner. I don't think they ever had a charge against him. There were other incidents of them harassing him, like going to his house and like finding weed plants and like taking his, all kinds of things. But like this time, they shut the restaurant down. It shut down for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then the restaurant opened back up. There was never any charges filed, or it was really just like, I think, harassment of the owner of this restaurant. But the show stopped happening after that, which really, really sucked for me because it really was a perfect gig. Like I said, it paid well. It was walking distance from my house. And I knew I would never have another gig like that again because it's Rockaway. There weren't, it was, everyone likes to come to Rockaway, but there's not a lot of burlesque in Rockaway. It was like, he was the only one producing shows, and so that was like the end of it. And then later, the host of that show, I found out that he was telling people that the owner of the venue was involved in the mafia, which he wasn't. But apparently, I guess that made the story more exciting. So when he was telling the story, he's like, yeah, the cops have a beef with this guy because he's in the mafia. And
oh my God.
Right, yeah, but none of that was true, but it was just... The thing about it, though, is that, so I'm sure lots of burlesque shows, strip clubs, anything like that have been raided by the cops in the past, but this was really just a restaurant. And I guess they weren't supposed to be having, burlesque there. But when you think about, just the history of like sex workers and those kinds of clubs being raided, I was scared. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen, but we were scared. We were back there like, we didn't do anything wrong, but that doesn't mean, we see what happens with police. And aside from me being a Black person who doesn't want to encounter the cops, I also just don't want to encounter the cops. Like, forget about the fact that I'm Black. I'm also a woman. I'm also like, a lot of reasons why I wouldn't want to encounter the cops or be arrested or taken away to jail. But it was scary. Nothing happened to us because we acted fast and we were in a separate building, but it was scary. But that is how I lost like the best gig. The best gig ever. I mean, I don't live in Rockaway anymore, fortunately, so I don't have those long train rides home at the end of gigs, but it really was such a good gig. Thank you.